Hey everyone, welcome to the night stream. Now, before we get on to the main point, I'm just going to hand over to Dalek. He's got a bit of a sad message for us all.
And thank you, Revan. Yeah, now all of you out. I don't know if all of you watching this will have heard, but in case you don't know, about 2 days ago, one of the greatest actors in national treasures that the UK has ever had, passed away at the age of 93. Bernard Cribbins. He has had such a great long career, and he was truly a living legend. I adored him as Wilfred, as his character Wilfred Mott in Doctor Who, and I've and I know plenty. I've seen him in other films he's been in, and I know some of the he's and I love I and his the songs he wrote are absolutely fantastic and hilarious. He was a great man, and I was very saddened to hear of his
Yeah,
passing. Or rest in peace, Bernard Cribbins.
we all will.
You will be greatly
Rest in,
missed.
rest in peace, Wilf.
And
Now, on to the meat of the episode. Okay, so,
Let me just say, if I may, Revan,
no.
I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. When the show came back in 2005, I was ecstatic for it coming back. Since the show did come back, it's been on the air now for another 17 years. My favorite character from New Who from 2005 on
Yep,
was Wilfred Mott.
yeah,
Bernard Cribbins played him so perfectly. He was just the greatest character that uh, Russell T Davies created for the show. Just the perfect gentleman as an actor and a person. Just wonderful man. You will be missed, Wilfred Bernard Cribbins. Thank you so much for everything you've done. May you
yeah,
rest in peace, sir.
the same. Hope he's up in heaven now, reunited with his wife. But my favorite scene from all of his in Doctor Who was when him and David Tennant were sitting down in the David Tennant's Regeneration episode, part two, was
Hmm.
when David said to him, "I wish you were my dad," and he was
Yeah.
just talking, and that and realized that he called himself weak because he wouldn't use a gun, even when he could have. That's the sign of a good actor. But uh,
And
before we all get
his, his final performance will be actually in Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary
will it?
next year. Next year. Yep.
Uh, so, with that to the side, we're going to talk about tonight's episode. Yes, guys, Orville Nation will be joining us very soon. He has already informed me so I was talking to him. So, yay, I get to talk to people. So, what did you all think of the episode?
it it's for this week's episode. For once, I didn't hate it.
That is high praise from Dalek.
That's what I was
Yeah,
just thinking.
it was
Yeah,
great, and it was. And I gotta say,
Wow. A
this was
Dalek that doesn't hate.
I
I
know.
know
Wow.
I know a Dalek that doesn't hate something.
Yeah, this episode was absolutely fantastic. I'm opening this up to the chat as well. What did you guys think of the episode? Because this was the best episode, in my opinion, of the season. Bird!
I think it was the best episode, perhaps, of the series.
Yeah,
At least, well,
absolutely.
okay. I'd say it was better than Identity. Identity? Oh my God.
Identity. Last
Yeah,
season.
Yeah. The last season, the two-part, where the original Kalon.
yes.
It was better than Identity Part 2. Maybe not as good as Identity Part 1. But being that these are longer episodes, they're not really. I'm not really putting them up against season 1 and 2. So, but the best of
Hmm.
season 3 for sure.
Absolutely. Guys, don't forget to vote in the poll. We've got 14 votes so far. Did you like the episode? Yes, or yes, no, or all praise John's beard. Nobody has actually voted no. So yeah, all praise John's beard.
I know there are people out there who
Indeed.
don't like the episode. They
Yeah,
probably just don't come to your stream.
Straight.
yeah. So, Specs, what did you think of it?
Too much salt, Bird.
I know, right?
I
Yeah,
know.
Quite
That's what
salty.
I'm
Right.
trying
Go
to
up.
do.
I'm telling you.
Get it on my
I thought
diet.
this was a fabulous episode, perhaps the best the Orville has put out. Definitely the best of season 3,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe number 1 overall. It was just awesome. I don't know how they're going to follow up on this next week.
Yeah,
And
John.
Ant-
Oh, go ahead, Bert.
I just said answer to Jill. That's what stopped me when I started saying, yeah, there were some season 1, 2 episodes that are just like near perfect. That even though they're short episodes, they're not really fair to compare to.
Yeah,
This was an epic episode, so I was only comparing it to other epic episodes, and the only epic episode would be Identity 1 and 2. I guess the season finale of season 2, that 2-parter, that
That was
also
good.
would count as like
Yeah.
one epic
That's the word.
episode. So
That's the word. That's the word I would use for this episode. Epic.
John, what did you think of it?
I would agree that this was definitely the best episode of the season, and one of, if not the best episode of the entire show. You know, there was a lot of action,
Absolutely.
but more than that, there's very good writing, very good acting, and a very emotional ending.
Very much.
Indeed.
Tokyo,
absolutely.
what did you think?
There are some things to nitpick about this episode, but that being said, this is my very rare 10 out of 10 for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you see all my nitpicks this morning,
there's a
Tokyo?
lot to
Oh
nitpick.
yeah. It
I
wasn't
think I had
perfect,
too
but it
much
was-
salt in my coffee this morning or something. I don't know.
I know.
That can be a
It was
real
a very
problem.
salty. It was a very salty
Yeah.
morning. So,
Very-
the episode begins. Oh, sorry about that. The episode begins, and we discovered that there is a new union out there, people. A brand new alliance. What? Oh, yes. The Mocklins and the Krill have joined up together. Because, you know, the super aggressive male species must go to the super aggressive religious species. You know, it's going to be a partnership made in hell. I cannot see that union lasting for long, especially with the way the lead representative, the guy from the union, reacted when, like, he insulted her, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
The Mocklin,
You
right?
mean from the Mocklins?
Yeah, the Mocklin delegation. Like, he basically said that you've got weak female brain.
That exchange was
In-
hilarious.
It was.
That's probably one of the only things in this episode that actually bugged me. That opening couple of minutes and that exchange back and forth between Talea and the Mocklins. Sorry.
Yeah. That was kind of like, but at least it moved on fast.
Yeah, at
So-
least it didn't dwell on that moment. It didn't dwell on that moment for too long. So it passed quickly.
So we then discovered that the Kalon are going to go and destroy Zalea. Now, I'm going to admit my stupidity here. What? Potato Revan being stupid? I know. Who could have guessed? But I always thought it was called
Oh, I
Talea.
could.
Am I the only one who thought the planet's name was Talea?
Apparently.
What the planet of the Krill?
No. The planet that they went to, Dalek, where the ships
Talea.
protected it.
With an
Yes.
X.
This one.
Oh,
I
that-
Actually, I must have missed the name of the planet. I don't remember.
Zalea.
hearing it.
That was Zalea.
Zalea. That
Zalea.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Talaya, you see, when they were talking. So, they said logically it's going to be on two worlds, the attack. Why didn't the female Krill say that they had male Krills too? Because she's an asshole. Like, she's
Her
a power...
She's their emperor or whatever.
Well,
She's their chancellor.
there were male krill in that room.
In the room.
In the balcony area. So
Yeah.
they knew there were males.
The look she
You
gave the
saying, Tokyo?
Mocklins. Yeah, the look she gave the Mocklins during that exchange, I thought was absolutely hilarious. Where he's like, we won't we won't accept you because you're female. And she's looking at him like, I will eat you. Say that again. You will be my dinner. You are lucky to be here by the will of Avis. I don't devour your soul.
Yes,
That
they kicked you out.
I gotta say, it was what was not believable was her incredibly poor power to negotiate. You don't do a negotiation stating exactly what you want and then getting it and be like, yay, that's not how it works. Okay. The Mocklins wanted it to be them. She should have said, I want it to be us. And then they negotiate and they do a 50-50 power split. First, I don't even believe that she would agree to a 50-50 power split. But even if I did, that's not when you start the negotiation from. You're never going to get that. Although, of course, because of writing, she did. So.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I think that she had other plans in mind. Hey, hello, John. Kroger does not negotiate. That is not true. Kroger once negotiated this way of being nuked.
We negotiate.
Yeah,
everything's open for negotiation.
So, at the beginning of the a few minutes later, we saw Zalea, which I'm sad to say I'm stupid enough. So there is Zalea, and
this
if those
is bugging me.
I'm sorry.
Just now, looking at it, those ships are way too big. You would never be able to take this picture in the real world.
No.
I mean, there's nowhere you could be to have ships that far away on a planet that was a real planet size. Looking at the size of those ships, it's just an impossible picture. The planet would be impossibly small for that to be a real picture. You would have an Earth that's like 2 miles wide, or a planet that's 2 miles around.
But, guys, do any of you realize where they are on Zalea?
They're in the space.
Nah. No, this is we're over where Kiali lives.
Yeah, it's a high gravity planet, so maybe it is smaller than a normal planet size.
But we saw
Oh
them.
yeah, that's right. Zalea's her home planet. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
a high gravity planet,
How could I forget that?
unless it's really dense, will actually probably be bigger than an
I was just going to
Earth-sized
say,
planet.
shouldn't it be like Jupiter size?
Well, somewhere in between.
Maybe they just got the scaling wrong.
It would probably be between Neptune and Earth sized.
Yeah.
They definitely got the scaling wrong.
Yeah.
But I think it's more like they don't care about the scaling as long as it makes a good picture.
So we then discover that they have built a new weapon. Here we go. The Krill Buster 5000, now sold by Adam and Eve.
In other words, I'm a guffin.
Boing.
No, it's not MacGuffin. It was an actual plot device. Like, this was the ultimate weapon. This is the Krill's Achilles heel. So, guys, you don't have a picture of it. So, what this weapon actually does is it sends a feedback loop into the with Into the Kalon, I nearly said the Krill, with Into the Kalon network, disrupting their bonds together and destroying them. Which basically makes everything that the Kalon are useless.
The time prophet, you can't know for sure, but you can make the logical argument that those ships are all the same distance from the planet. It would be stupid for them to take that position and all be, closer to the camera
Yeah.
rather than the planet. If you assume that they're where you would expect them to be, then it's clear enough that it's wrong.
I mean, the moon is further away than they are. Our moon.
I mean, let's say you take the ships that are on the left and the ships that are on the right. If they're granted, we don't know how far they are away from the camera, but if they're both where they appear to be on opposite sides of the planet, maybe 170 degrees apart from each other in 3D space.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you can tell.
Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Gesundheit.
So, to make peace with the Krill, they decide to go to Kalon. Sorry, with the fucking Kalon, not the Krill. They decide to go to Kalon.
Get it right.
No.
Fair enough. Time prophet.
What do you think? What do you think about the plan that the Admiralty came up with?
I thought it was a bold and brave plan. At one point in the show, after they made the agreement, I thought I'm almost rooting for the Krill and the Mocklins to wipe out the Kalon.
I was as well for a while, honestly.
So I thought the Union was foolish. Because the Kalon stated that they would find a weakness in the weapon and they would exploit it and then they would attack again. It was just like a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off.
Oh, there's some beautiful ship stuff. But yeah, Dalek, as a resident Android enthusiast, what did you think of the plan?
I thought it was rather like they said, it was definitely bold. But at the same time, it's a bit it's a very simple plan. But just they go up to the Kalon and say do as we say or we'll kill you.
Tokyo, what did you think?
I thought there was they were leaving themselves open.
They were
the Kalon, the Kalon, for all right and purposes, after the second blast, and then they realized that Orville wasn't going to fire the weapon again. It should have opened fire on the Orville and just ended the series right there.
Can I just say something that I would have done if I was doing it? I would have copied the weapon, put it onto a couple of ships, and sent a party of ships to Kalon, have the Orville go down, but have the ships in space with the weapon loaded.
Yeah, when they were talking with the Kalon on the planet, I thought, Isaac and Charlie should have been in engineering on the button, ready to hit it if they needed to, but no, they were in the party.
You really didn't see what Charlie.
That's a good point. They were there in the landing party. Why weren't they aboard the ship with the weapon primed and ready to be used?
I think honestly, it was it was a show of good faith because they literally have the arming device there on Krill. It's like a show of good faith from us. That's what I would have thought it was.
I
If
mean,
it
it
was a
was
smart one.
comically bad to the point that, I mean, I would almost question if these were Star Trek Discovery writers, but the fact was the rest of the episode was just so damn good that it's the kind of thing you overlook. Like, why is Scotty bringing this guy to the bridge instead of sick bay? Well, you know what? Because it's Star Trek 2. Shut up. Don't think about it so hard. Enjoy the goddamn movie.
I was thinking it was more like the scene in Voyager Endgame where the armored and souped up Voyager goes into the nebula and they just show off all the future weapons by taking out a couple of Borg cubes. And I almost said it was just like that, except that Voyager had all kinds of physical and plot armor that the Borg had to try and work through before they could attack again. It would have been nice to have seen something like that on the Orville, where the Krill, here I go. Nice
Hey,
job.
see, it's contagious.
It is. Where the Klingon,
Damn you, Revan.
Yeah. Get my French fries soon enough. The Klingon try to attack the Orville. You can't do it. Orville shoots off their super weapon, kills that squadron. Another squadron comes in, tries to take out the Orville. They can't do it because of the whatever plot armor. Another blast destroys that squadron. And then they call back and say, yeah, we'll take you to Kalon Prime, sure. Or Kalon Primary, no problem. Yeah, Daddy. At that point, but
yes.
You're not Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Sick, Revan. You're sick.
I know, but I'm wonderfully evil. Hold on. What is it with sci-fi and one-shot weapons? It saves on money for shows.
Saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
And
Also
kaboom,
goes to show
kaboom.
how powerful they are. It's like, we can one-shot you, so...
In
so
the future, people won't want to waste time killing. They just want instant death.
Yeah.
Laser set on kill, vaporize.
So
No body.
then we had the party scene. I fucking loved this. It was hilarious.
I was crying because
I personally thought this was the most pointless part of the episode.
Hold on. Bert, you were saying?
it reminded me of our upstate cabin, of Karoga. Karoga Lake. That's where Karoga comes from, and that was a lot like the cabin we have up there. And I was like,
Oh, I
son of a
remember.
bitch. I was
It brought back
this is
memories for you,
Karoga.
Bert.
Yeah, a lot of memories.
But Dalek, you were saying this scene, is it? Or is it in particular, or is it the entire
The whole, pretty much the whole thing.
You don't get why
City.
They were celebrating.
The whole thing with Gordon and Charlie's song. That this bit
they were celebrating.
That bit we were just looking at with Boris and Clyden and the walnuts. I thought that was all pointless.
No, it wasn't pointless, Dalek. The thing is, they were celebrating. They went home. Their home is safe. That's it. Like, to them, the war is over. It's what happens with real life soldiers after wars end. They go home. They go back to where they are. They do normal things. They sit down. They go to the pub. They go to the chipper to go to a football match. These were a bunch of friends sitting down at home in Kelly's house. They were de-stressing. They were being normal for the first time in a year. They could literally breathe.
Yeah, I like the scene in the cabin. I appreciate the interactions between the characters.
Yeah. Surely that cabin will be covered in dust. She lives on a starship. cleaning crews exist. Cleaners exist. Maids exist.
I gotta wonder why Bortus has to open the nuts anyway. He eats everything else. I mean,
He eats everything else, but the thing is, it's like maybe a
Mocklins eat
walnut.
light bulbs. He eats light bulbs. You can't
yes,
tell
well,
that he can't digest a walnut.
no, it's not digesting; it's breaking. That's the thing.
Then he could, I was getting a little tired.
They were mimicking the other people.
Yeah,
Mimicking. I mean,
They were trying to fit in.
it's like them with the cigarettes. That cigarette scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to kind of go somewhat lore reloaded on this cabin scene and why I think it was actually necessary.
Buckle
for how
up.
heavy this episode goes. It's gonna be quick. It's not gonna be too lore reloaded on this.
let's just jump right in.
They
Fuck Lore Reloaded.
they're singing around, or they're all hanging out, having a good time, singing songs, but you can feel the uneasiness between the people that think that they've got something good. The Kalon War is over, but the people are thinking we just made a weapon of mass destruction and we're holding them at gunpoint. We don't feel good about this, and you can feel that tension in between the characters.
Yeah,
And
like they were all. Did you notice that they were all grouped?
yeah, you could cut the tension with a knife. And also it seemed pointless to have it in there, but once we get through the episode, and because that cabin scene with the Mocklins, I'm sorry, it was hilarious. And the reasoning why it was there is apparent once you finish the episode, because of how heavy it really gets after the fact.
Yeah.
My analysis is done. Told you it was going to be short.
But I really liked the scene with Toba and the kids where they were just outside looking at the Aurora Borealis.
I'd be fine if we never see Topa again. I mean,
Wow.
Topa had a decent run, and it was a good episode, but I'm Topa'd out. I'm Mocklin out, to be completely honest.
That's hilarious.
No, Isaac was.
I agree.
Isaac was very careless here. What if there was a shuttle or aircraft flying past there? It would have blinded the people on that aircraft.
Maybe that's what those big lights are. He blew a shuttle up here, a big one there, and over there. It's like, yes, let me destroy the shuttles in this way.
I thought at some point they were going to show like a bright flash or something from one of those.
That would have been funny.
And we were going to zoom in, and it was the Kalons attacking or something. The Krill.
The Time Prophet. It's actually both. Some parts of the country, some parts of the world, it's called the Big Dipper. Other parts, it's the Plow.
Wow, I've never heard it called the Plow.
Never heard of it either.
The Time Prophet also said most people want to get away from people you work with on shore leave. Well, that's probably true. But one of the things I like about this show is that a lot of the main characters feel like they're part of a family. And so when a family gets off on shore leave, they spend time together. Like what they did in Star Trek V.
Yeah.
Other people have family, but not us.
Okay, you know what? Thinking on it, this whole cabin scene, maybe the reason I didn't enjoy it is because, and don't hate me for this, I'm not a fan of Gordon singing.
Wow.
Do you know why Gordon sings?
I'm sorry, I do hate you for it.
Doc, do you know why Gordon sings? And it's kind of a stupid reason. Do you know why he sings?
Why?
The actor's a real singer. He's an actual singer with. Yeah, he's an actual singer with CDs and does concerts.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, he's an actual singer. That's why he sings.
The Time Prophet asked, how many on the panel have a spare cabin in the woods?
I have 7, but they're for my buddies. I mean, what?
I mean,
Obviously the bit with
not in my name.
the bit with Bortus and Klein and the,
Oh,
and
wait,
the walnuts. I mean,
it
that's
is.
just harmless silliness.
Yeah, it's
So-
them basically trying to be human. That's where their
And I
funniness
loved it.
comes in.
I loved
Okay.
it.
Okay. I'm sorry to be so nitpicky here, but we know
Yes.
this cabin is on Earth, right?
Ob-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that
Obviously, it's on
scene-
Earth.
That scene they showed from the cabin, where could that possibly be? I bet you that place does not exist. So if you're going to we're going to tell us that you're at a cabin on
Hold
Earth,
on. I'm going to
at
point
least
something out.
at least use a plausible Earth scene.
No.
You show us a picture that can't possibly be on Earth. And if you say, oh, yes, that's in Arizona, I say, but the Northern Lights were out.
Alaska.
Did they say where it was?
No,
No.
we just know that it's Kelly's house.
It belonged to her.
Her dad left it to her.
Yeah,
Why-
it belonged
Why
to-
is it
anywhere-
impossible, Bird?
It belonged to her dad. That's all we know about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why is
granted,
it impossible?
because we know Earth. If that scene was a real scene, there would be billions of pictures of it. I mean, it was like, did you see it? It was beautiful, but it was clearly enhanced, 3 or 4 different backgrounds put together.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it looked like okay, not that scene.
This one?
No, not that one. No. Let me
The
see
lake?
if I can bring it up. It had the what is it?
Was the lakefront and the mountain scene?
Yeah, the mountains.
I don't have a picture of that.
That could be, I would say northern Canada. If you're looking at the northern lights, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking Canada myself.
you're also forgetting something. Maybe they have an area that we now know is covered in ice terraformed. You don't know that. I'm just saying. It could be in an area that's covered in ice, like the northern part of the Yucatan.
The Yucatan?
Yeah.
It's too far south for the Northern Lights.
Wait, no.
Or
Then what's the? I
Borealis.
thought the
You mean the Yukon?
Yukon was. Thank you.
The Yukon. Okay, Yukon. Yeah, I can buy that.
Yeah, maybe that's like because we because it's a couple of hundred years. Yeah, it didn't look real because it was called CGI. There's a robot standing there and a kid in makeup. Which part of it looked real to you? Hey, everyone! Welcome, Orville Nation.
PJ, welcome.
Hey.
See, I told you if I supply them with enough cookies, he'll show up.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late. And
No
I
worries,
can't be
man.
on camera. I was held up at work. How you guys? Good to see everybody. How you guys doing?
We're doing. Orville, I'd like to introduce you to Dalek. He's a big fan of yours, Dalek.
Yeah, I know Dalek. How
Orville.
you doing, Dalek?
Good evening, PJ. How you doing?
Good to see you. And Tokyo Trekker, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for the plug in the stream a couple days ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, man.
Absolutely
So-
awesome.
PJ, be careful of Dalek. He might exterminate you.
He can't exterminate you. I haven't charged him. He keeps asking me to. I told him I forgot where I left the USB wire. But whenever I charge him, he always does the usual charging boot up sounds. Why are you doing this? God, this hurts. Please, why won't I die? Usual. Usual charging sounds. So, PJ, I'm going to move you up here, and I'm going to move there, and then I'm going to move you to here. Just do this. There you go.
And,
So,
I'm getting
PJ,
dizzy.
what did you think? Like, what were your favorite? We're talking about the cabin right now. What did you think of that scene?
the cabin. Oh, well, there's a couple times they were in the cabin. At the beginning when they were singing, or later on.
Beginning when they were singing. Like,
Listen,
we're talking about the cabin in general.
I gotta say that I think that if you talk to a great chef will tell you one of the best things. Sometimes it's not so much the flavor of something, but the contrast in flavors that makes something great. And I think that the contrasts in an episode, and I think John Cassar was alluding to this when we talked to him, that the contrast in the episode, going from one extreme to another, one place to another, help bring the episode to life in many ways. So I enjoyed it, and I do like Scott Grimes singing, and the Orville is a little special. It has that. It's always had that comedic component. There's less of it this time, but it's also had that musical component. And so I enjoy it.
But did you guys notice that the song was pure foreshadowing?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, because she kept the parts that Charlie were singing were like, "I wish I was alive forever. I wish I would get to live." That there were her lines in the song.
Oh, were those the lines?
Those were the lines.
Wow.
I wish. Yeah, it's like it was pure foreshadowing. I caught that on my second go through. I'm like, that is like, especially with what happens at the end, that is like pure and utter foreshadowing.
Good catch, Revan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you that one.
Time Prophet says they're in the cabin in the woods, but they don't eat meat. What do they hunt? Raspberries? It's
walnuts.
Called replicators. Yeah,
They hunt
we saw
walnuts.
them. We saw them after their hunt with walnuts. Where is it? This scene. After last week, guys, what do you guys think of Clyden?
Well, I think even though he's come back and he's basically turned the corner regarding his daughter, Clyden is still Clyden, and that's just kind of the way he acts. Well, Mortis too, to an extent, they take something that's very trivial and treat it as like the most serious thing ever.
Yeah, it's like, you made us all look like fools. It's like, nah, man.
Although I think he's slightly more integrated with the rest of the principal cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something with the next scene, which another thing I don't have pictures of. It turns out that we were all wrong, including PJ here. All of us, we kept saying there was a Kalon infiltrator. It wasn't. It was the other way around. Someone gave away their weapon to the Krill and the Mocklans. So, I forget the admiral's name. There it is.
It was the sunrise. It was the second time they were at the cabin. My bad.
The morning after the hangover.
That's not El Capitan, is it?
When we saw that guy like going to steal the weapon, I thought I was fully expecting it to be a Krill in disguise. I wasn't expecting it to be some.
No, I was expecting it to be a Kalon.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't think it was what became, but yeah, I was thinking it was but
it turns out it was neither of those things. It was an actual Union officer turned traitor.
What?
Yeah,
was he a traitor?
Yes. Wait. Kind of. He was a traitor in as much as he followed a corrupted admiral.
He was on. He
Admiral
was
Perry.
Corrupted admiral.
He was sent there under Perry's orders.
Yeah.
Well, immediately I got a Section 31 vibe out of it, and the code that he used in the elevator was 32. I thought, oh, is that a kind of a reference
32.
to 31?
Yeah. Is that the special code that John Spears gives out? Section 32?
I doubt that. It's actually it's probably 42.
The answer to everything.
Exactly.
But Peter, what do you think of the new alliance?
I think it makes me feel a little unsettled because the Kalon are so powerful, and what happens if they misunderstand us again down the road? But I understand the reasoning that there's it's a very binary decision for them to that okay, so now not all biologicals are like our Kalon creators. But even the Kalon creators could not have all been like that, right?
They
even the-
appear
No,
to
they were
be.
not.
pretty assholes. Those
Yeah, but not
kids
every
especially.
Yeah, but I mean, you can imagine not every family would have been like that, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
only saw the one family. We didn't really see
So, but what do you think
the,
about
the creator and the
the
subordinate. But
the Krill Mocklin union? Or the alliance?
I don't think it's going to last very long.
That already seems on shaky grounds to me.
well, the Krill they're probably in chaos anyway. Their leader is imprisoned by the Union,
Yeah.
and the Krill were already very divided with the election, and the election could have been stolen. So
Yeah.
and I hope that doesn't bring the stream
Uh-huh.
down. But
No. We're talking about fake election, people. Please, all hell,
Oh,
Joe
no,
Biden.
it's a fake election.
Yeah, yeah. If you're listening, if you're listening,
fictional,
YouTube, we're talking
fictional
about a
TV.
fictional election, a fictional one.
Yes. Oh no, I have disappeared. Okay, so, when we went to this planet, where all the Mocklins and the Krill were together, like, that honestly, I don't know. I really, really liked it, but like that was a weird planet to stick it on. It's one planet, like they have. I would have put it on Mockless just for a bit of a like a bit
Wouldn't
more.
that be very risky to put a giant power supply on your
On a populated
habited
planet.
planet?
Yeah, I know that,
On
but
your-
I'm just saying they would have raised the stakes even more.
Yeah, I doubt they would do that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm with Bird.
Yeah,
They turned this planet into Starkiller Base.
Yeah,
They did.
basically.
Yeah, at no point did I think this episode needed more
Mhm.
or whatever. I guess they could
Yeah.
have raised the stakes, but it's like, how much more? Honestly, when the Kalons were attacking the Krill and the Mocklins, I didn't know who to root for. Because, I mean, yeah, I wanted the reunion to win. But on the other hand, I wanted organic beings to win, over the robots. So,
But that's the best. That's the best thing. As they say, the best bad guys. What? Thomas Papa?
it's going to make Ireland like Mocklin.
We should put all the world's power plants in Ireland.
Nuclear.
That
Oh.
would
power
raise the
plants.
stakes.
Yeah.
Why?
If you understood the context behind that no. But guys, PJ, what did you think of the battle?
I thought I had a lot of mixed feelings too because we had just become allies with the Krill in identity, and we had been. I mean the Planetary Union had been allies with the Mocklins for so long. So yeah, there was a lot of mixed feelings there, but I think it just adds to what they wanted to get. They wanted really to get us feeling all sorts of feelings. I think the writers did.
Yeah. Now, a lot of complaints by certain salty YouTubers or people in my chat that have been brought up is the cloaked shuttle. It's like, how did the Mocklins see the cloaked shuttle? They didn't. They were aiming at the squadron of fighters, and they also said, why did they need a squadron of fighters to keep them safe? Did you not see where they were going?
Well,
They didn't watch the episode.
my problem with that scene isn't that we had fighters, because obviously there were fighters from the other species. So, okay, if we're going to have fighters, you're going to have fighters. But you don't have your chief engineer be a fighter pilot. That's stupid. I mean, you wouldn't even have Gordon be a fighter pilot. They're much better at piloting the capital ships. You have any? I'm sorry, have any idiot off the street can be a fighter pilot. You keep Gordon on the Orville, and John stays in engineering. Period.
I agree with you about John. I don't know about Gordon. Gordon's a hot shot.
We saw that Gordon
pilot.
I think it made sense for Gordon to be a fighter pilot.
Yeah, like it was stated in the beginning of the Orville that Gordon is the best pilot in the Union. That has been stated many times.
And that's not just and that's not just
a pilot who can hug the donkey. It's better he stays on Orville than goes out on his little
with a mission as important as this. I put him out there protecting everyone else. After what we saw him handling that fighter, with a mission this important, I put him out there.
Wait, wasn't John at Con in seasons 1 and 2?
Yeah, but that's because he was season one. That was because he didn't want to do anything tough. It turned out he was a genius, and Kelly found out and made him push himself.
Chief engineer.
You know what? Go ahead.
No, you can.
No, you know what came to my mind when regarding this issue? I kept thinking about, even while watching the episode, I kept thinking about Independence Day when they were saying we need every last pilot we need to man these jets in Independence Day, and it came to my mind that maybe because John's a pilot too, and maybe that was the case. Maybe they needed every last pilot they needed.
That's sounds reasonable. And Time Prophet and Thomas, Scotty wasn't a pilot, but that doesn't mean John couldn't be.
Yeah, like
John's always been a pilot.
Yeah, John.
Exactly.
John was on the helm. John is a qualified pilot.
Yeah.
If
you ask me, I'd say John is a pilot.
And Scott, add to that point, Time Prophet and Thomas Potts. Yes, Scotty was an engineer, but how many times was he given command of the Enterprise?
And we know that in Star Trek, all Federation officers know how to fly ships. How many times have we seen people just step in different colors, just stand into ships and flying them? Like,
true.
Yeah, every Federation officer knows how to fly a ship. It makes sense.
But John was a pilot.
Oh yeah, John was a pilot.
And I don't mean this.
Thank
John.
you for showing Jill. We really appreciate you and every view. Guys, go and check out Jill, Anti-Derivative Jill. She also does streams on the Orville. She's a great YouTuber. Go and check her out.
At the same time, I totally get Bird's point about, I get what Bird is saying.
The other thing is not only he's one of, I guess he's not one of the two people who can fire the weapon, but he just seems like he's, other than Isaac and Charlie, he knows probably the most about that weapon out of those. It just feels like a bad move. But these are nitpicks over a very good episode.
But they didn't have the weapon at that point.
No, they were trying to get to the weapon.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of them going down. But when we actually got to the weapon, when the teams and that broke up. 1 sec now. Oh yeah, Grill Fighter. I don't know why. I'm sorry. The Grill helmets look goofy to me.
Or their heads look goofy.
Their head is goofy.
I almost get I don't remember their names. The bad guys in Galaxy Quest. I almost get that. Or is it the bad guys in Last Starfighter?
I don't. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Last Starfighter. So to get down to the planet.
You haven't seen the Last Starfighter?
No.
What's wrong with you, Revan?
I'm a potato. I only gained sentience last year.
You have gained sentience?
Dalek found me in his pocket and then he threw me away. Like my mommy. Oh, hello. Hello, Samuel.
Yeah.
Mum.
Time Prophet. Yeah, it is the last Starfighter I'm thinking of.
I'd
Not
like to
Galaxy
say
Quest.
hi to Boosh, good guy. Also, hello to everyone in the chat. Time Prophet, Thomas Potts. I'm sorry for not saying hi to you earlier on. I'm currently 25 degrees. I'm melting. So, guys, we see them skydiving.
25 degrees is not hot.
Shut up! For Ireland, it is because our houses keep the heat in. So I actually really love the skydiving scene. That scene was fun to me.
The Star Trek 09 Into Darkness scene.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely got 09 vibes from it myself.
Mm-hmm. PJ, your thoughts on like the skydiving and them getting into the place?
I like these jetpacks. Yeah, I got the Star Trek vibe, the 09 vibe too. Except they seem to be cooler. These suits seem to be a little cooler. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that.
By the way, I have a question for everybody. When if Reven will allow me to ask it later.
Always, go ahead.
Oh, but I want you to get through with this question. If you're asking everybody this question,
No, you go ahead.
does anybody think that Charlie or Admiral Ted Danson can be alive? Is there any way they can be alive? Does anybody think?
Admiral Perry.
Charlie is a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perry, I don't think is alive.
Yeah,
I
would
don't-
say Charlie could be
the
alive.
way I could see that. I could see that coming from. I've been wanting to say this for a bit. That I could see that coming from a mile away. Of course, they were gonna kill Perry, but they weren't gonna let him go.
It was still high.
Yeah,
It was still
I
high
agree with
profile.
that.
Yeah.
Without the magical plot device of an emergency transporter, no, they're gone.
There are no
Transporters
in the
on the
Orville.
Orville?
Exactly.
Well,
If it's on Star Trek, they
Charlie-
just beam out and say, "Hey, I'm alive," but there's no way. Not in the Orville. No, they're gone.
No.
No, Perry's dead, definitely.
Well, I keep
myself-
getting this 4-dimensional thinking. I don't know how that would play
Now-
in. That there
There's
could be a
something I'm going to
possibility.
say, and it's going to sound stupid. A way Charlie could survive, right? This is a new device with attached to an uber powerful star, right? But my thinking is, now I'd say she is like gone, but my thinking is because it's weird tech, maybe she got propelled into the future.
well,
Those are
yeah,
one-
that's a good point because does this technology have anything to do with the Aronov device, for example?
It's blue, and the Aronoff
Don't-
device is blue.
She shows
I
up with a
don't think
sandwich.
so.
Let me pose this. What was that race that put Ed and Kelly in a zoo? The Caliban?
Caliban.
They think they're so much smarter than humans.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought, hey, this is the smartest human ever. They were going to take her. And they have a transporter.
What about the race that
The
had the
extra
accelerated?
race?
Yeah, they had the accelerated evolution.
The Q, basically.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Q race from episode, was it 3 or 4?
Mad
This season 3.
ideology.
Yeah.
Right. I guess it could
Hey,
be.
I doubt it, but and they would be pulling a Doctor Who series 10 out of that, but
Maybe for talk's sake, the race could have. But I think
What do you
for
mean,
this
Doc-
episode,
What do you mean Doctor Who Series 10?
Bill's partner, if you will,
Oh,
who
The gasoline
saved Bill
girl?
at the end. Yeah, the oil slick.
Armis?
No,
I'm
no, not Armis.
Oh, you mean I'm. Hi, I'm Bill. I'm gay. I'm Bill. Oh, by the way, I'm gay, Bill.
oh,
Yeah,
God.
that Bill. That Bill. She got saved by the oil slick at the end of the series. I liked Bill. It's just that they talked about her sexuality too much.
She reminds you. She has to say, "I'm a lesbian." She was a lesbian every 5 minutes.
I don't want to harp on that too much, but it just kind of reminds me of that. That's why I said Doctor Who Series 10. Bill gets saved by the oil slick.
But yeah. So when they land, Maria, check your Twitter DMs, by the way, if you're still here. So they go in and they're going around, and then we get a fight of Scaly Mommy versus Blondie Mommy. I'm sorry, I like both of them. Fight me.
I think they're both good characters.
Yeah.
Oh, characters, yeah.
The Battle of Edexes.
I enjoyed that. I gotta say, I enjoyed this part. This little skirmish between Kelly and Talea. I enjoyed it because I was just
her face. She's just done.
I was just waiting for the moment where it was just like, come on, where Kelly would just really give it to Talea. It was like, kill the bitch.
Yeah. But they ended up leaving Talea alive. Which is okay. Yeah, sure. My porn fantasy will come alive.
Sadly, no. She was not killed.
Yeah. But my surprise is how close Kelly actually came to being offed.
I never got that feel from the fight. They seem very evenly matched.
No, I'm saying she had the knife up to her throat, and for a second she had Talea standing over her with a big pokey poke with a people opener.
I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
I was just saying, as you were saying, I wasn't terribly concerned about Kelly at that point.
Can I ask people a question? Did anyone here play Skyrim?
No.
PJ?
No. What is it again? Skyrim?
Skyrim.
No.
Anyone in the chat play Skyrim? Boosh, I know you did. Boosh will get this. That uniform is the Dark Brotherhood uniform from Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online. Color coding and everything. Just saying the Orville has got some Skyrim fans. Hello, Hector. So then we get
just to finish that. I never thought Kelly was going to be killed. I figured she would get out of it some way.
Yeah. So we then go in. We then go in and we see that the Mocklin professor and they have the entire weapon hooked up to a super core. Which you're like, okay, fuck. Which no, that's not. I thought I had the fucking pictures because I'm so professional. Here he is. In here. This guy. I thought that was funny. After he saw the scene where where Kalon Primary shot and killed the other Kalons. Here he is, Primary. I thought that was funny. Where the Kalons, where he's just like, yeah, I'm just putting down my knife. I thought that was funny.
Reaches back, gunpoint. Never mind.
Yeah, screw this. I got more to do today. I don't need this shit. A lot of the actors still look the same, but they're trying to be like a similar type of race, so it's easy to get them confused.
That's kind of racist, Time Prophet. Say they all look
exactly. Would it have been cool if the landing party was supported by a Zelayan commando squad? The problem with that is they're literal superheroes. Like, the Zileans basically are literal superheroes. That's the thing. So they're going down with like superpowered people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just another says, I think I remember we follow each other, but we disagree on real life stuff just a little too much. Okay. Thanks for that. But then we see Primary changing his mind. What did you think about how they had Kalon Primer change his mind?
I liked how they did it.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed believable.
It wasn't just one person that did it. First it was Isaac, and then it was Charlie. They both factor into it.
This goes back to the question: why didn't the Kalon just destroy the Orville after they blew up the weapon? Well, by that point, that Kalon Primary had already seen all this stuff, and his mind was starting to change. At least that was the impression that I got.
Yeah. PJ, what about you? What did you think?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The whole bit of how they had a Primary change his mind from "I'm going to kill you all" to "Kumbaya."
Yeah, I thought it was well done. Obviously, that's what they're trying to show, that these guys are completely logical, as long as they're given the proper evidence, they will react in the most logical way. So yeah, it was well done.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, for anyone here who's new and haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and the bell. Also, go to Tokyo Checker, check him out. Go to Dalek, check him out. Go to like Brady Specs channels, check him out, and go to John DeMarco's channels, and go to Bird of Prey. Check us all out. We're all great guys.
And PJ, he has a great channel.
Is the best.
Orville Nation.
Yeah.
But instead of going to my channel, make sure you go sub to Salty Trucker's channel, because he needs attention. And he's calling out for attention. So go sub to Salty Trucker, please. My good friend Michael.
If anyone knows Salty Trucker, please send him this stream. I really want his opinion on my thumbnail.
But let me just... go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Orville. I was going to make a snarky remark.
Go ahead, snark away.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
I was just going to add that I think that that Charlie, apart from kind of being in love with her friend Amanda, I think she also had survivor's guilt to some degree. And
I
got a slight emergency. I'll be right back.
Okay, I know a guy who survived a lot. And he has a lot of survivor skills. We were talking when they haven't heard from him in the year that he left Discord. But he turned around and he said that a lot of people he knew didn't make it like through the war in Iraq and Afghanistan and that. And he feels bad that he did.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, PJ. That's something I had not considered, that she had survivor's guilt.
Yeah, I think at the same time, like, since the song, it was yeah. I think at the same time for me, the song was such foreshadowing that I knew this was going to happen. Like,
well, you also had Ed talking her up, how much she has progressed since she joined the Orville as a person and as an officer.
Yeah, it's like
so that was kind of foreshadowing there.
Yeah, it's like we're going to this, like, we're in the show. We're going to this big, huge, dangerous mission. Brainy Specs, you know, man, you're after coming a real long way as an officer. You're like such a great guy and everything. I hope you make this out. Why are you crying? Get back here. Don't resign your commission.
I'm laughing at you.
like, don't resign your commission. Get back here. And you're just like running down the hall, taking off your uniform. Fuck this, man. I want to live. Turn around. Dalek, you are a great guy. And Dalek, get back here. Just as he runs down the hall. You see you guys standing there, and there's like a new battle, and it's like, Potato Reverend, you're the greatest guy we've ever met. God fucking damn you. It's like, well, us here, we've got so little to live for. Stop it. Just stop it. I want to make it to the next season, god damn it.
Can I? Hector asks that. I always assumed that fourth dimension they were talking about is time, but
yeah,
maybe Bird has an opinion on that.
They're pretty sure they're talking about the fourth spatial dimension.
Yes.
Which is, it's hard to explain because nobody can really visualize it. Most people can't, but it's like if you had one dimension's a line, 2 dimensions is a square, 3 is a cube, and a fourth dimension would be what we call a hypercube. But what it looks like is hard to explain. Its shadow, though, would be a cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
So supposedly the fourth dimension is the passage of time, right?
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. Some people call the fourth dimension time. You can certainly use time, but it's not technically a dimension like a spatial dimension.
It is. Time is actually a spatial dimension.
Really?
It's treated just like a spatial dimension, only it goes only in one direction.
And it's constantly moving.
You can't travel the other way.
Then
I don't know, because I heard a song whose lyrics specifically said you could travel up the road and back again.
But does that travel in the fourth dimension, that road?
I don't know, but it also said that I think the biggest gift would be from me.
Thank you for being a friend.
Exactly.
So, Shushinator says, what do you think about the role of Yaphet going further? Someone had the idea of having around in the background, sorry for the misunderstanding, forgot to tag the person. No worries, man. My personal opinion, and I want your guys' opinion. I've mentioned this to PJ in typing before. But basically, we know that Yaphet is lonely. Yaphet wants love, right? And Yaphet's race reproduces by splitting, where his mother became his brother, right? And the other half of him became him. So, what if Yaphet splits?
Okay. I think it's the most logical explanation, just to have Yaphet split and his 2 halves get different voices, and one of them might leave or both of them might leave.
Yeah, like my question would be, if Yaphet splits, would you say both of them would retain Yaphet's memories and be commanders or whatever rank Yaphet is?
Yeah, I think both would retain, right? Memory. It would be logical if they both retain memory.
My guess is they would retain.
I could see the Union having rules about it.
They've got their race on different ships and in the Union and on the Pan, so they obviously have rules about it.
But yeah, who would become? I don't think you just walk out like, oh, you were a captain and now you're also a captain.
No, remember Dax was
no.
A commander and Ezri was 1 rank below her.
Yeah, in fact, she was promoted from ensign to lieutenant, wasn't she?
Yeah, but Dax was lieutenant commander.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Zia was lieutenant commander.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Ezri was promoted from ensign.
Ezri did not become a lieutenant commander because Dax was, and it wasn't Dax. It was.
But it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit different situation there.
She also went from
Oh, shoot. I was going to say she also went from junior officer to flag/senior officer because
Yeah.
of Dax. But other than that, there's still the entity of Esri that doesn't physically have the same experience as all the other hosts of Dax. So
Before we
there's
go
that.
forward, I'm just going to say I'd like to thank the chat for I just hit 230 subscribers.
Yay!
Fantastic,
Nice.
200 how
Yay!
many?
I hate you, Bert, so fucking much.
230,000.
No, 200.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just three more subscribers until Bird laughs his ass off at me forever. Yeah.
I think it's more
But-
like Commander Riker. Well, like Lieutenant Riker. When they beamed him up, he kept his
Lieutenant rank.
he kept his lieutenant rank.
But the thing is, it's like Yaffa went through commander training. Yaffa went through. This new guy didn't. So wouldn't it make sense that he would be just maybe a lieutenant?
Well, I mean, like I said, we don't know how the species works really. We, for all we know, half the one person gets all the training, the other person has to learn. Or
hey,
they get
Time
half.
Prophet, link your channel in the chat. But yeah, so just moving on a little bit. So then after the explosion, Charlie dies. See you, Blondie tits. So she's dead. What do you think of what they did, of what the offer for peace was?
Bruce Boxleitner looks so good in that picture.
He does.
Yeah, he does. I've always liked him right back from Remington Steel days.
Very dignified.
Before we go on, I'm going to say something that I think
not
that
Remington Steel. Scarecrow and Mrs. King. I'm sorry.
That I think it'd be nice, right? Just for nice sake. I think that in season 4, because yes, hashtag renew the Orville, guys. That what we should do. Yes. Please sub to Time Master. Yes, guys, please go sub to him. Check him out. He's a great guy. A good commenter. He's a nerd. He knows his stuff. But I think that we should get, because Charlie dies, we get a new Helm officer, a male Chilean, who starts going out with what's her face.
Dr. Finn.
She wouldn't break him.
Kiali, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that relationship with her and Lamar is not over.
No. I mean, yeah. So, but what did you guys, PJ, I'll go to you first, because you're a special guest. What did you think of the solution with the Kalon?
You mean at the very end of the episode?
Yeah, at the very, very end.
My fear is that there could always be a misunderstanding with them. But
yes,
I think it's a logical. I mean, it's a very advantageous thing for the Planetary Union now.
I have a weird theory.
Yeah.
To deal with the Kalon.
You are a weird person. So.
Yay! I'm sticky, and you're gonna find out why. No, so the Kalon are very logic-based, right? So this whole war was mainly started by Kalon Prime, right? It was essentially his idea. What if the Kalon calculate and say that Prime is defective? His reason and judgment.
The 3 Kalon that were there, they were talking with each other when they agreed to that.
I think all Kalon speak to each other through their network.
Yeah, that's true.
All the time.
I don't think that's going to change.
True. If Yaffet splits in half, would the new half go to the Union Point? No, because we think it's retained knowledge because they're coming from the same being. I'm saying it's more like Dax, where the retained knowledge splits. It splits. It does. What does it do? It splits. So question to the panel and everyone who's seen the episode, because we now have Talea in custody, and that before we shut ourselves out, what do you think is going to happen to the Krill Empire?
Probably find out next episode.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's at the end of the episode. That's what I strongly suspect in the final episode. We're gonna see what actually becomes of the alliance between the Krill and the Mocklins.
Just imagine a giant fleet of Krill and Mocklins surrounding the Earth and saying, "You give us our leader back, and we will open fire."
Well, here's what I think. The Krill were so divided when she was elected. You may have a coup on Krill and the other side take power again. That's a possibility.
I feel like
because their leader's not there. Their leader's not there. There's a power vacuum. That side is going to be in chaos because they don't have their leader anymore. There could be, a transfer of power or another election or something.
I mean, I'm no fan of our current president, but if a different power came here and then stole him, put him under arrest and dragged them back to, say, China or any other country, I'd say Ireland. If Ireland came here and arrested Joe Biden and locked him up in Ireland, I would be like, oh no, this isn't going to go over well. We're going to have to go.
Hey, Chef. Good to see you. Chef, one sec.
Hey, Chef.
Yeah, Chef, you now have a wrench.
Good to see you, Chef.
If you want to drop your channel, girl.
Hector says, "Bird for Emperor of Krill."
I'll take it.
By the way, the Kraylan may not be our enemies, but they might not come to bat for the Planetary Union.
Well, if they're not full members, but they are members of the Union, I would think they would go to bat.
Right. Yeah, okay. That's
right, but
yeah.
I don't think I would have, if I was the Union, to kind of answer the question that was posed to you earlier, PJ. I don't think I would have made them even like junior members or whatever the term was that they used.
Yeah,
I think I would have. Was it provisional?
Provisional. Yeah.
I think I would have made some sort of treaty with them first and see how it goes before offering them membership.
I think
into
the
the Planetary Union.
Treaties.
I think that's a little more. I think it's a little more.
It did feel accelerated, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I think the reason why it's accelerated was that it was an emergency solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. It still felt a little forced.
So we're going to go on to the heartjerker of the episode and then wrap it up. The speech. What did you guys think of all the eulogies? Dalek, we'll start with you.
Well, the one who actually gave the actual eulogy was obviously Isaac, but
yeah,
and obviously, Ed said some fine words, obviously, but and then Isaac came up and the first part of his speech was a little it was a little, what's the best word for it? It was a little silly, but the like just like the first part. The first part of it was a little silly, but the rest of it was quite deep and moving. But that's
Okay.
but the rest.
Okay. PJ, what did you think?
Oh, give me 1 sec. Come back to me a second.
I'll come back to
David,
you.
sorry.
Okay. Tokyo, we spoke about this, but you want to say it on stream. What did you think of the speech?
I didn't cry at all. I mean, it was just completely pathetic and absolutely not, not necessary. He sounded like Data, and it was absolutely terrible. It was the worst.
Yeah, but if you weren't like salty or something like that, what would you have thought?
Well,
Did you accidentally take the lid off the salt on your dinner tonight?
Just now, yeah, I did. Actually, my
And
tissue
it
box.
just poured
In
on,
reality,
and you ate it anyway.
yeah, my blood pressure just went sky high. In reality,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not, because yeah.
He's dying of sodium poisoning as we talk.
Yeah, my tissue box in reality took a hit pretty hard on that one. Just the way Mark Jackson delivered those lines, they could have been, written by a 12-year-old, and that guy can act the hell out of it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
But Sporky Brains, what did you think?
I actually like the waffle part, the first part of it. It was kind of a humanizing part of the speech. So I like that. It brought a part of her character out, which I think we heard before. I didn't cry the first time. I did watch the episode twice, and the tears did come the second time.
Nice.
It hit me hard. It hit me harder the second time.
Lord Beard, what did you think?
Well, I thought the funeral in Isaac's speech was very moving.
It was.
I mean, yeah, like he brought out the pancake stuff, like she mentioned to him, like I think in the first episode.
Yeah.
So, like for example, how or whatever it was, he mentioned how long he knew her, like down to the minute or something. And they said, despite all that, I still didn't really comprehend her, despite all the time I spent with her. I think it's something very deep you wrote on to say.
Bird, what did you think?
I thought it was a really good eulogy. I don't know how much Dr. Finn really contributed, but whatever. But I do like that they gave us the 257 days. So I think that gave us some. This whole season has been about 257 days. I mean, she was very new at the start of the season. So maybe
a little over 8 months.
Yeah. So certainly for those still expecting to see the sandwich rematerialize, they sent 3 months into the future. I'm sorry.
That was already back.
That's already, they're already months late. So.
I'm going to give PJ, what did you think, bud?
Maybe.
I think we're still going to see that sandwich pop up. Wait, Bird, you said the logic was that the
257 days. So the sandwich was sent forward in the first episode, right?
No, that wasn't the first
episode.
No,
it was a time travel episode.
6, I think.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah, episode 6. It was forward.
Okay. I mean, I still think that it's really pushing it for it to be only 3 months. I think a big jump happened in the last episode. So
yeah. So that sandwich is floating in space somewhere.
Floating.
That'd be a funny shot to add in. Hold on. How many more episodes do we have, Chef? Tomorrow, next week is the last one.
It's the series finale.
It's the last one before series 4, guys, because we're new to Orville.
And there is another episode that was not filmed that has become an audio book and a book. You can get. It's called Symphony for the Devil.
This episode, I gotta say, this for most of this season made me think just let this show die. But this episode actually renewed a bit of hope in me. It's like I think, okay, maybe this show is worth renewing.
It absolutely is, Dalek.
For those that are saying that they cried more for the death of a sandwich, or they didn't think Charlie
And
was
I
worth
gotta
crying
say,
over.
there's
I-
one thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, Brainies, but there's one thing about this episode which I did. There's one thing this episode did, which I didn't think, which I don't think almost any of the other episodes did, except maybe episode 1. This episode actually made me care about Charlie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Specs, you were saying.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. She wasn't a character that I cared a lot about up to this point. I didn't hate her, but this episode really made me care about her, and the eulogy at the end really hit me, especially on the second viewing. I did have, tears over her her death, and
I'm going to say this. I don't think Dalek will agree with me. Some people
What?
won't, but I think that basically the beginning of his speech where he was talking about the waffles and that, to me, that is somebody who really knew her, because I was saying it to Tokyo and Brainy Specs. That is, if your friend died, you won't be talking about like, oh, they worked in this. You'll be talking about the weird little idiosyncrasies that made them them.
Yeah, good point,
Like,
Robin.
you'd be talking about those weird little. I lost a friend a few years ago, and it's stuff like that. When he'd be eating his lunch, he'd always take a sandwich apart and eat it with the butter on the outside because he thought it tasted better.
Thomas Spot says that he felt more care for Charlie than the robot chick on Discovery, and she was on Discovery for a couple seasons.
Yeah,
She wasn't a
I
character.
I completely agree with you, John and Though.
But it's
Completely.
those weird little idiosyncrasies that made Jamie. It's those and things like, it's like where he'd always wear odd socks. Like, he hated wearing 2 socks of the same packet and everything like that. It's the same little idiosyncrasies that made Charlie that Isaac remembered. But guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to give everyone oh, wait. Hey, Darren.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Darren.
How are you?
Hey.
Welcome, Darren.
Showed up at the end of the stream. Darren, what did you think
of this week's episode? I did like it. I was surprised at how much I got choked on the whole Charlie thing. They actually did a pretty good job of making my least favorite character on the show into one that you miss when they leave. And I think that speaks volumes to the quality of the show.
Yeah. But we're at the end of the show, so I'm just going to go and ask everyone their scores. And then we're going to wrap it up because I'm starting to run onto the toes of Tokyo Checker.
Ouch.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So,
Poor
PJ,
Tokyo.
as our first guest, what did you think of it? What would be your number?
I would give this episode a 9, but because of just because they've done something that's never been done on television or streaming before, as far as the VFX, I'm going to go give it a 10.
Nice. Dalek, what did you think?
Hang on. What was it they did that no TV show had done before?
The level of VFX has never been done on television or streaming.
Really? I never knew that. Genuinely.
I mean, it's like the only place you could compare it to would be some movies. To that level of VFX. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I think not only this episode, but several others this season have blown away effects on any Star Trek show.
Oh, absolutely, especially the new Trek. But Dalek, out of how many Daleks out of 10 would you give this?
Apart from a few little nitpicks here and there, and a few little things that that I thought annoyed me a bit. I'd say that this was an almost. I'd say this is an almost perfect episode. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Fantastic. Darren, what would you give this?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm a tough critic when it comes to shows like this.
Yeah.
So I don't normally give 10s at all, and 9 is the high you can get. But I would give it an 8.5. I did learn a new word from this episode, and that endeared it to me almost immediately. The word was maladroit.
Okay.
At the beginning of the episode, when Talea calls the Mocklin strategy, she calls it maladroit, and I'm like, oh, I gotta look that up. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, I got a new word, yay! I can't use it for another couple of months. I can't use it for a couple of months because then people will know I got it. But that's where I'm at.
I would suggest to the chat that all you guys either drop your numbers in and go and vote. So we've got 2 9s out of 10s, and that. So Tokyo, what did you think?
It's 10 out of 10. It was so good I can overlook all the nitpicky parts.
Fantastic. Bird, what did you think?
9 out of 10.
Wonderful.
And the fact I had to look up largesse for the second time. I knew I looked it up once. I had to look it up again.
Lord Beard, what did you think?
There have been a lot of great episodes this season, and I've been holding back and giving one a 10. But I think I'm going to give it to this episode.
Nice.
So we have our third Daniel, and 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic. These numbers are coming out absolutely fantastic. Brainy Sporks, what did you think?
Well, Twice in a Lifetime was my favorite episode up to this point in the season. I think I gave that one a 9.5.
Yes.
This one was better. I don't want to give it a 10. It did have a few niggles with it, so I'll give it a 9.7.
I will give this a 9.6. Myself, which is the highest rating I've given any of this season. But guys, one second now. Gordon has the voice of an angel just saying, yeah, one sec. Are we allowed recurring numbers? Yeah, dude, you can score this whatever you want. Like, I'm not going to stop you.
No, you're not allowed.
Yeah, exactly. If you do it again,
I give you permission that you are allowed.
You give a
Take that, bird.
Score,
take that, bird.
Will be dispatched, and your legs will receive a stern talking to.
Guys, everyone's channels are going to be linked in the description below after the video. Go, because I'm just ending this really fast. PJ, you want to shout yourself out just in case nobody, the rare person here, don't know who you are?
Yeah. Well, if everything about the Orville, go see Orville Nation. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All the other guys' channels are linked down below. John, because you're going live soon, you want to Tokyo, you want to drop your link into the chat for your live stream next. John, you want to talk about John, you go talk about your channel because you've got a Gem Nerdy.
Yeah, thank you. Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel, we host a Star Trek themed Jeopardy. We take contestants for the audience, and we use an excellent board created by Professor Brainy Specs. So feel free to come check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Brainy Sporks. Show your crap.
Yes. Well, A Question of Trek on Sundays at 4:30. It's a Star Trek themed game show. Continuum Trek runs it. I'm one of the hosts on the show. We take people sometimes from the chat and sometimes invite. If you want to be on the show, get a hold of Continuum Trek. Also on Mondays, every other Monday, we'll have History with R&R, Rambling Canuck, Robert Knowles. We're looking for people that want to come on and talk about history. So if you like history, if you maybe have experienced an important part in history, you want to talk about it, get a hold of me on Twitter or on Discord. And Darren, I want you on the show.
Yes. Darren would be absolutely fantastic.
Yes,
especially
he would.
in the radio
Yes, you
segment. He has a fantastic radio voice.
Well, and
okay,
I'm
sorry.
sure
I was away. I heard my name. What? Sorry.
I want to get you on as a guest on History with R&R at some point. I know you work on Mondays, but we'll do it as a recording and do it as a premiere.
Okay. Oh, all right. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Send me a Discord link.
And I must say that Darren also has another fantastic beard.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a little more gray than John's, so it's not as epic as John's.
Guys, I would like to thank absolutely everyone for coming. I would like to give a special thanks to PJ for showing up. It's a real honor, man, to have you on.
The honor is mine. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. But guys, everyone head over to Tokyo Trek and we will see you over there in like 5 minutes. Peace out. Thank you all for coming. God bless. Oh, everyone, before I forget, go and subscribe to Dalek451, the new Dalek Emperor. He does opens link streams. He does hangouts. He's a great guy, vastly undersubbed. You'll have a laugh on his channel. Go and check him out.
Yes, if you could go and do that, find my channels, please subscribe. Yeah, Dalek451, I would very much appreciate that. Like Revan said, I do hangout streams, sometimes I do reviews, and actually tomorrow night I'm thinking of doing a tribute live stream to the great Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Wonderful.
Okay, so everyone, good night. God bless. And Chef Nation, you got to get on this stream for next week, girl. I will be in your DMs. Okay. Good night.